Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 2705AT. This is a 6-inch sample piece of an aluminum threshold from Pemko. This is going to be what we would call this would be known by a number of names. Bump up style, latch track style, panic style. It would be known by all of those. So bump up is pretty obvious. The door is going to bump up against that. Latch track style is where the bottom latch of a surface vertical rod is going to secure directly against this ridge that's here. And panic style is the same term really as latch track. That's where that's going to be used. Let's take some dimensional properties and we'll talk about where you'll use this. This is an overall width, 5-inch. This is going to have a height underneath the door of a 1/4 inch. This will have an overall height of about 1/2 inch. And then let's go from the back side to where the door would reside to what would end up being the inside usually of the threshold is about 1 3/4 inches. Okay. Now, where are you going to use this? What is it used for? Let's talk about that now. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So this does not need to be used with a panic device at all. And in fact, it's just a really great way to have, it can be an in-swing or an out-swing. Generally, bump-up style like this are out-swing. Doesn't have to be out-swing. If it was going to be in-swing, I would definitely want to put a drip cap over this, no doubt. I like the line of defense on the seal of the door to be as close to the outside as possible. If this was going to be an outswing, which it could be, I would absolutely have a door sweep on the outside. Depending on the application, I might even go further. I would have a drip cap on the outside. I might even really go belt and suspenders and put an automatic door bottom underneath the door. I've got a seal here, and then line of defense out here. It just really matters what you're doing. Generally, I've seen these installed for outswing doors with nothing else. I've seen them installed with sweeps. That would be better. What would even be better is a drip cap with an integrated sweep, and then rarely, occasionally, you'll have the belt and suspenders approach. What would you use other than belts and suspenders, where you have all three lines of defense? But if you're trying to attenuate the transmission of acoustical energy, yeah, you're going to put stuff everywhere. And why you wouldn't use this and a door sweep, and you would use material rated for STC control. The point is that you're going to see multiple lines of defense for that, whether it be sound or freezing cold or horizontal rain, Chicago freezing cold or Florida horizontal rain. It's a good idea. As an in-swing, sure, I like this as an in-swing as well. I'm certainly going to have a drip cap out here because I don't want it pooling and collecting here, but it would work out. Now, this 1/4 inch threshold is nice because you draw the door down much closer to the floor. A typical undercut on a hollow metal door is 3/4 inch. That means you're going to really need about 1/2 inch of threshold. Well, why have 1/2 inch of threshold? Leave it something that's going to basically sit directly onto the floor itself without it being a saddle type that will give you a void underneath. Go all the way down, run the door down an extra, I would have a 3/8 undercut is what I would have with this. 1/2 inch overall height, 1/4 inch here, 3/8, and that would be really ideal. That reference to latch track or panic devices, think of the back wall of a big box store and they've got 2 or 3 pairs of doors going out, emergency exits based on the occupancy. There's a formula, and the number 0.2 comes into play, if I'm remembering the code correctly, or the NFPA 101 standard. I think the formula is the clear opening width needs to be 0.2 of the occupancy. I've reread and forgotten that multiple times. NFPA 101 is where you will find it. I think it's 0.2. The point of the matter is you need to have capacity to get people out. Those doors are hardly ever going to be opened. Hardly ever. But you need to seal them up really nice. You're going to have surface vertical rod exit devices most likely. This allows you to get that installed so you're not attaching a strike down onto the top of your threshold. Okay, so that's where this will come in. Again, just a 6-inch sample piece. Screws, if this was the real the real thresholds, fasteners would be included. They would look like this. This is going to be available in different finishes. Let's switch to the screen view now and let's take a closer look at all of the supporting documentation. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. Speaking of looking at, let's take a closer look at some images that we have here, showing a cross section of the unit. The leading edge, so to speak. A close-up of the inserted material, and I'll show you what part number that replacement material is. Another view or perspective on it. You can see how that nests or seats into the profile of the threshold very nicely. The back side of it, where your latch track would be, or panic style. Just another view. Backside or the underside. Evidence of my fingerprints everywhere, apparently. And then your screw package. Okay. Extended description information. Heavy duty latching panic exit saddle threshold. Sure, that's where you'll see this. Dimensional properties. It's a ThermoSeal. Ideal for heavy duty, high traffic, high weight bearing applications. Because it's solid and will sit on the floor, and these nice little ridges that are here, that really does a great job at helping resist the lateral forces pushing the threshold laterally like a door closing or cart traffic coming over it. What I don't like about cart traffic going over a bump up like this is sooner or later that material is going to get damaged, the insert. That's a guarantee. I see that all the time. Such as industrial facilities, schools, cafeterias, manufacturing buildings, and hospitals. Withstands coastal and high humidity conditions. Ultra durable, extra thick extruded nickel aluminum construction is guaranteed for 10 years. It's fire rated and ADA approved, and it is ADA approved. Yeah. Interesting. The ADA tells us a couple of things. You can't be higher than a ½ inch. We're okay there. You can't have a 90-degree greater than a 1/4 inch. They're obviously not calculating that from down here because that would violate that. But obviously this has been tested and found to be compliant because really this angle here is likely not greater than something that would cause it to be in violation of A117. So speaking of A117 and the options on this and the insert, there's a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page. When you click on that, our manufacturer's page will load. When it comes to all things handicap compliance related, it is A117.1. And if you were to fire that document up and do a Control F on your keyboard for threshold, you're going to find the governing document when it comes to handicap compliance. Not only for thresholds, but for all things handicap related. Where does that come into play for us in the door hardware industry? Certainly weather stripping, but certainly we get into restroom accessories as well. And grab bars, if you were to do a find function on your keyboard for grab bar, you're going to find all the passages. And while you do some rooting around, you may be enlightened as to, oh, that's where that's supposed to go. Here's your grab bar height, 33 to 36. Did you know? Doesn't matter that you can recall by memory. What matters is that you can find the document and then you can say, ah, it's 33 to 36 inch. I'm good. So that's why that document's important. On this page, you can also view all of the Pemko products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation. There's also a link to the manufacturer's website and then their catalog. Let's fire that up. Control F for 2007. I think that's what we're dealing with. Pardon me, 2705. And then we'll let the search cycle this document. There's 300 pages probably in here. Here's our 2705. What's nice about this is all of its sister products are in this general area of the catalog. But what's nice about this is it will tell us the available finishes. And speaking of finishes, it can be done in a Pemcoat as well, which is an abrasive coating. What I'm stammering to look for is the replacement seal. it's listed with the product on the same page. Like here, replacement insert. Yeah, it's this ThermoSeal. It's a T5 BL. Yep, that's what that's going to be. So the replacement insert for this is the T5 BL, and you can order T5 BL, and we'll have it listed by lengths. Maybe we won't. Okay, so the part number's changed. T5R1BL is what it is. And you'll see, yeah, our description's probably out of date, but this would be a good replacement for that ThermoSeal. T5R1BL. They do change part numbers as the chemistry of the material that the material is made of changes. It's technically a different part, so they assign a different part number to it. That'll get you there. Other things on this page would be encyclopedic documents, prior versions of the catalog, things of that nature. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've made it this far into this video, you must be determined to see it through to the end, and we appreciate your hanging in there with us and watching this entire video. It means a lot. It takes a lot of work to create these videos in the sense that, you know, it's time taken away from doing other things. However, the advantage for me personally of creating these videos is the fact that it does allow myself to either learn about something new, to reacquaint myself with something, or to reinforce what I believe that I already know. Any comments that you might leave down below would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. In conclusion, if you have any questions on the 2705, please let us know. It's not a very common threshold for us to sell, but it is a very smart threshold. High quality aluminum. Very great, smart design, allows you to not have a large step over when you're going through the opening. And in fact, in my opinion, this is not used nearly as much as it ought to be. And it's those ridges here that really help prevent that lateral movement. You know, every time the door closes, bang. Every time the door closes, bang. It wants to move it out. The screws that are installed, you know, they're going to work their way loose after a while if you've used a plastic anchor, certainly. Don't use plastic anchors. Use machine screws and lead anchors. Let us know. We can have the thresholds packaged with a upgraded fastener package. Reach out to us. We have to enter the order that way, as it's not a no-charge substitute when you do that. But that would be the way that I would do it. Machine screws, lead anchors. I would caulk everything with an exceptional polyurethane exterior grade caulk. This will come drilled and countersunk. I'd get it all placed, get my holes marked first. I would be doing some coping where this had to be coped around the frame, whatever the case might be on how you're going to install that. You know, obviously your door is going to sit in here. It's going to run off to the front a little bit and come back. And there you go. Good quality company, Pemko. Lots of choices to look at as well. Any questions on the 2705 or any other Pemko item, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.